Hi everyone, it's Nancy McNally, and today I have a new quilt block for you. We are going to make this block right here. We're going to make it from a fat quarter bundle and 2 background fabrics. So here's your block, and here's what you're going to need. So to make mine, and I'll show you what these are in just a moment. To make mine, I used 19 different fat quarters that came from a bundle I had purchased. They were Krista Watson's fabric line, I believe dots. And actually the bundle came with either 23 or 24 fabrics. I only needed 19. I pulled out the ones that I felt that would not work. Now why did I do that? Because these are my 2 background fabrics right here. So I have a cream. It's not really a cream, but it's not a bright white. It's a soft white with, it's like speckled paint. And Juicy Juicy. Juicy Juicy is the designer of this fabric. And this is, I believe, just your basic solid black. I believe it's a Kona black. So what you're going to do is with your 19 fat quarters, or however many you want to use, when you go to cut it, you need to lay the fabric out, obviously, but you want the selvage, pay attention, you want the selvage to be on the left side if you're right-handed, because you're going to cut from the straight of grain, and that helps these fabric strips to not begin to warp or do curvy type of things. Even though it's only a short strip set, it can still happen. So your selvage goes on the left, and you cut from this side and move over. So your strips will be 18 inches in height, in length, if you will. All right, next thing you're going to need will be some type of ruler to draw a diagonal line. 2 diagonal lines, actually. So I'm going to grab the black one right here and see if you can see the line. Okay, I see you have 1 diagonal line here, which is from corner to corner, and then 1/2 inch away, we draw this line, and this little ruler is 1/2 inch. So what we're going to do is we will be stitching on both lines, and then we're going to cut right between those 2 lines in the middle, which is 1/4 inch. And this will be our excess over here. Now, that's a lot of excess if you want to know the truth. And that's where, and we're going to do the same thing with the white ones too. That's where all of these come from. Isn't that cool? So let me show you what happens when we use the stitch and flip method and we cut off the excess. We have this much remaining. So we're going to trim each of these down to 3.5 inches. So we have the black ones and we have the white ones, and we make the little pinwheel blocks. Now from that point on, so that's your bonus project. From that point on, you can decide to make 2 bonus projects, or you can combine them and go like that. And look at, you get this unique 1/4 square triangle. See, it has these little tips right here. You get this unique 1/4 square triangle that forms in between. I think it's pretty cool. You can do whatever you want, but you will get 80 of each of these. 80 of the black version and 80 of the white version. That's going to make a cute quilt. So it's a bonus, and you really didn't have to do a whole lot of work to get the bonus project. All right, let's get moving. So your first step is to prepare your cream and your black fabric for the double drawn line. Now I know it's really difficult to see this one, but it's 2 white lines like I showed you before, and I used a red marking or a red ink pen, a friction pen, for these 2 lines, so they will disappear with the heat. Next, you're going to make your pairs. So you're going to take your strips from your fat quarters, you're going to lay them out. I laid them out in groups of 8. And then I joined them together. do any color combination you want, as long as the fabrics do not blend with the black. Now these stand out when I put these together, so that's the only thing I would be concerned about, is if they're too rich, but these other dots help to pull that color, this strip, out so that you can see it. All right, so you're going to make your pairs, and then you're going to cut your pair strip sets down to size according to the pattern. So I'm going to get that done, and then we're going to do the next step. Really fast and easy prep work. So I've cut my strip sets down to size, and now I rotate them and how I'm going to have them in the block. So you get 2 blocks from these strip sets, and notice how the colors are going in opposite directions. They're across from each other. All right, I love this color palette. When I begin stitch and flip, I always change my foot to an open toe foot. I can see clearly, and I can see the line that's in the center right there for me to line up with that diagonal line on the fabric. All right, so I'm going to take one of these. I'm just going to pull these aside, pull this aside. Now, let me pull the white piece back. Here's what you're going to need to remember for each one. The black will always go up against the white. So I'm going to flip these like this so that I have the drawn line on the outside. Flip them one more time. Okay, so this one's going to go here. So I have my black fabric on top of each strip set. Notice how they're positioned. I have the drawn line, the one from diagonal, corner to corner on the diagonal. It's running here to here. Notice it's here. It's lined up with this corner. This one, it's lined up with this corner, and it goes out. Same here. This one's lined up with this corner, and it goes out. And this one. The reason I'm showing you this is so that you don't get it mixed up and switch your star, and instead of it spinning this way, it'll spin that way. And then your flying geese will be different. Okay? So I still have to sew these, the secondary line for each one, because this is the excess that we're trimming off. And then we'll flip this in place and press. And notice the angle is from here to here. Just make sure you do that. All right, let me get finished. I'll be right back. I've laid them back in place, and now we're going to do the second one. So now I have my white with the 2 drawn lines, and we're going to place them here. So you line them up. We're going to sew both lines. Remember, when I do stitch and flip, I try not to start in the corner and go towards the center. I start down here at that center line at this point right here and go out towards the corner. All right, I'm going to get mine sewn. I'll be right back. One, two, three. So here's where the new technique comes in. This is called a partial seam. So what we're going to do is we're only going to sew half the seam that is needed, and then that will create, for the next unit, a straight line for us to completely sew that unit, and we'll work around. So I'm going to start with this one right here and take the center square. I'm going to place it right here on top. I'll move that just a little bit, bring it in and align it. I've got right sides together and my raw edges are together. So what I'm going to do, you don't have to mark it with a pen. I'm just showing you where we're going to start. We're going to start right about midway. I'm going to put the needle here and I'm going to sew this way. Now, if you need to place a clip to hold it there, go right ahead, or a pin to hold it in place. I'm going to pick mine up and take it to the sewing machine. Okay, before we get sewing our third piece, quick review. We sewed a partial seam on the first one. Finger press towards the flying geese unit away from the center. We're going to do that all the way around. Next, you line up. Now it doesn't look like I've pressed it, but I have with my fingers. And so you want, remember, that seam allowance goes towards the flying geese. But when you sew this partial seam, we now create one seam here, and that's how we lined up this one. And now, let's line up this one, and you'll go corner to corner, and make sure that this area right here lines up with that seam. So line that up first, and then line your corners up, and then sew your seam. And if by chance you hear this odd noise, it is not me. It is my cat. He is snoring very loud. It's quite comical. All right, I am going to put a clip here to hold it in place. And now I'm going to sew straight across. See how easy a partial seam is? All right, so now we have this one. And again, we're going to press with our fingers, press that seam allowance away from the center square. I know it seems like they should go towards the center square, but this is the way it works. Okay, all right, so now we're going to take this one that we didn't sew. I'm going to grab a clip, fold it back. The clip just holds it in place, and now we're going to sew this last one. All right, do the same thing as we've been doing. Align that center seam. Make sure that the seam is going in the right direction where we finger pressed it. Use a clip or a pin to hold it in place, and now we're going to sew this seam. Okay, so now we have that one, right? Now it's time to sew this final seam. We're going to finger press, make sure it's going the right direction, and once we press it out with the iron, everything will lay nice and flat and will look really good. Now, you're going to take this, fold it over. Again, I'm going to put a clip right there at that center, hold those together. There we go. Now, you see this kind of folds back like this. Try not to get this caught. It won't get caught if you've sewn far enough in. So now we're just going to start a few stitches back, lock that stitch in, the new stitch, and we're going to sew all the way across. It's that easy. And there you go. I'm going to give it a quick press. I'll be right back. All right, and there we have it. Let me grab my other two blocks. Got this one, and we've got this one, and we've got this one. Aren't they pretty? Now don't forget about your bonus blocks and lining them up. I think they're going to look adorable just like this. All right. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found this tutorial very helpful. The name of this pattern is Pinwheel Prisms. If you like my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And my website, if you'd like to find more information or more patterns by me, it's nancymcnallyquilts.com. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.